Oh, I gotta go do all these. No, I don't. Oh, man, if y'all don't get the fuck. Okay, I'm just gonna scroll to make sure you got all your macros. Give me a moment. I hope you should stop doing that shit. She got the clock in, clock out. Let me see something. She got the clock in, clock in, going on break. Okay, yeah. Okay, here's one. Make sure for it says hello, put your name down in that macro. In that macro, you just put replace with your name. So make sure you redo that macro on that.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, you could change it. You could change it after all this. Besides all that, you actually got all your macros together. Yeah, so your macros are fine. You just got to change that one macro.
I'm gonna grab a 4-door real quick.
Okay. All right, so the next thing is okay, so I have to tell you why we use certain macros. So when you're doing your emergency calls, there are two separate macros.
Okay.
When you're doing emergency calls, there are two separate macros that you will do. Number one, you always do emergency call with a buddy. You do not go out in the city by yourself, do emergency calls. That can get you terminated from your job. Always gotta go with a buddy. Just ask around. A lot of people don't want to do emergency calls with the buddy due to the fact that nobody ever want to do emergency calls, but it's required that you do. It's required that you go with a buddy. If you are found without a buddy, you will get terminated from your job. So don't be like anybody else. Don't get caught up in the street not doing the correct thing. You will drop this macro. The macro I just put, you will drop this macro. When you get a call and you're on your way to it, you're going to drop that macro. It's going to say medic unit responding to emergency call.
Which one?
The macro that I just dropped in the chat, you're going to drop that macro when you're on your way to the call.
Okay.
Medic unit responding to emergency code 3, lights and sirens. Yup, correct. You're going to drop that macro when you're in the call, when you're in the car responding to a call. The next, there are two different other macros that you can use. This first one, is saying that the scene is hostile. Now, the scene is only hostile when there's an active shootout going on. When there's an active shootout going on, I repeat, do not go and save anybody. You're going to stay in that car and you're going to get away from that scene as quickly as possible. When they're shooting, that's the only time where the scene can be hostile is when there's shooting going on, or there's a whole lot of commotion going on, like people's arguing, people fighting. If you could feel the tension in the air, if you could feel the energy, do not pick anybody up. Just go on ahead. You're going to drop that macro saying medic unit on scene. Scene is hostile, retreating to safe location. And that's exactly what you're going to do. You'll go somewhere where you'll be safe, and you're just going to wait for the next call.
Okay.
This macro that I put in the chat, this is when the scene is safe. You got there on the scene. Everything is clear. There's no threats looming around. There ain't nobody that's hostile around you or anything like that. So you're going ahead. The scene is safe. You're going ahead. You're going to pick that person up, save them, give them their med kits and pills, and you can go ahead to the next call. That means everything is good. Everything is kosher. Now I want to add something else to how the scene could also be hostile. So the scene could be hostile when there's an active shootout. And whenever there's an active shootout, you don't pick nobody up. Scene could be hostile if there's a lot of fighting and commotion going on. Scene could also be hostile when you get to the body and you're being threatened to not pick them up, or they're shooting at you. That's when the scene could be hostile. When you get to your white scrubs, you're gonna learn about the taser and the macros on how to learn the taser. I'm not gonna really teach you those because I want to teach that when people are in their white scrubs, so they'll get like a better meaning of the taser. But once you're in your white scrubs, you will get a taser, and you will have to learn how to use it and how you drop the macro for that. The taser is your way to protect you. So that's all I'm going to say on that. It's just a way to protect you.
Alright.
And always remember, once you on the game and you start working, always make sure you clocking in. When you start coming in here working, clock in. If you're leaving, clock out. If you're going to take a break, make sure you put in that you're taking a break. Take this as like a serious job. Even though it's a game, we're role-playing as nurses, so we have to take it as seriously as nurses. So just make sure that you are putting down the right macros for stuff. The other macros, like these, these are for role playing. So say if a patient come in and they're sick, you will drop these macros just to evaluate the patient and stuff like that. So these are actually role playing macros. I mean, all of them are, but this is really what truly puts you into the nursing field. You could use these macros whenever you're treating a patient. Most of the time, if not, you will be in a department. You could join a department and they definitely will use these macros and stuff like that. But you got, it kind of differs with the department. Some say you could be blue scrubs and up. Others, most of them say you gotta be cranberry scrubs and up to join. So it depends on the department. You can always talk to somebody about that. But these are your actual role-playing macros. As a nurse, you would, when you're treating a patient, you would drop those macros and stuff. And also, this is another macro. I don't know why I forgot about that. There's two different macros I want to go over. This one, body cam. Body cam is just screen recording. It's nothing special. You can screen record in the game. You can use the game screen recorder. How you do it, I do not know. But if your phone has a screen recorder, just screen record through your phone. That's what body cam is. Body cam is just screen recording. That's it. And whenever you're doing a CPR call and you're about to start a CPR, please drop this macro, starting CPR. That's what you want to use. If you don't use it, it's not going to count for when you log in your CPR calls. It's not going to count. So please. And that's another thing. Every CPR call that you do, you got to log it in.
How do I train on CPR if there's no one else to train with?
Basically, you either gonna have to wait. You have to probably got to do another day or something like that. Because like I said, it's very hard to find a buddy that's willing to do a CPR call with you. A lot of people like to do it by themselves, but having a buddy with you is good because they could do a body cam and you could do CPR calls, or y'all could both do body cam. Like it's hard. It's hard. So it's kind of like you got nitpick and nag every day about doing a CPR call, because as you train, CPR calls are something that you will need to do, but you're only doing it for training. So your training today, you're gonna have to do like 3 CPR calls, and that's how you're gonna learn how to do CPR calls. But outside of your training, it's expected to do CPR calls as well. Like I said, it's very hard to find a buddy, but eventually somebody will be like, hey, you know what? I'll go ahead and be your buddy for a CPR call. You just gotta thug it out. You just have to wait. But just please be sure you do not go out there and do CPR calls by yourself. You have to have somebody. If they catch you, I'm gonna tell you something. These people screen record on this game all the time. Especially when you're in the faction, they catch you doing something wrong, you can get terminated. You can get terminated easily on this game. So I say, please follow the rules. When you're in the hospital, don't go out through the front door. Always use the elevators to go through the back. You go out that front door, automatic dismissal. You do a CPR call by yourself, automatic dismissal. So please, be aware of what you're doing. And also screen record as well, because somebody could send something over to the CP or the DCP or another higher up